Well, greetings everybody. This is Wigan Walgate Station, and it's a little bit unusual in as much as if we swing down the road just a few hundred yards, we'll have a look at Wigan as we go. Well, part of Wigan. Another railway station. And this one, Wigan North Western, is totally unconnected with Wigan Walgate. This one being the National Rail Station. And here it is in all its glory. It actually, ironically, crosses over the local rail track system. Mind you, with a barber's name like that, I don't hold out much hope for the rail system. And Wigan is another town where they have actually made good use of the arches that are underneath the rail. Oh look, it's a busy bee bus. Now, loath though I am to be in any way sarcastic or attempt to be funny, I'm walking down a certain road. I'll show you the road if I may. This is the road I was talking about. And why is this road so spectacular? Well, not to put too fine a point of it, this particular road I'm walking down is a road that's well known to Eric Blair. You may have heard of Eric Blair. He actually renamed himself George Orwell. And the road I'm walking down is, yes, get your groaning machinery out, it's the road to Wigan Pier. I suppose as roads go, it's not particularly spectacular. You can store stuff there, and then it's got yellow boxes and traffic, and it's, even if we go back again, look, it's got traffic lights. What more could you want on the road to Wigan Pier? Possibly the instruction telling you to go outdoors. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Outdoors, I'm already gone. A little bit of pronate or pigeon-toed walking, but who am I to make such observations? Just my luck, I didn't bring my baseball bat today. Well, I hope you're girding your loins as we walk along the path beside the road to Wigan Pier, because it's starting to get very exciting. Yes, it's number 1 Wigan Pier. We're nearly there, folks. We should have some water soon. And you can even, if you like, hire a boat. Why not? But be warned, it's only for your unique events. If you have events where you invite loads of people and it's not unique, don't bother. Here we go. I see a path. Let's see where we go. Are we going to see Wigan Pier? Gird yourselves. Well, this is the obverse side of number 1 Wigan Pier. I can't say backside, and look, lo, there is water. And there's Wigan Pier number 2. Let's nip onto the bridge and see what the view is like. Here you go, folks. If it was good enough for George Orwell to write a novel about it, there we go. Wigan Pier in all its magnificent glory. Now, personally, I'm renowned the length and breadth of my kitchen for writing on subjects I know nothing about. But you have to hand it to George Orwell to be able to write a novel about the road that ends here. Well done, well done. Now, should I do a little bit of uneven walking, I wonder, or head back into the town and see what's there? Oh gosh, some poor chap's standing here. He seems to have lost his head. A little bit of information on life on the canal. I would have thought if you're on the canal, you'll get wet unless you have a boat. But there we go. It is, I suppose, as some might say, rather quaint. Right, let's get into the town. For some reason, calling things terminal buildings always seems to remind me of undertakers. I've always wondered why you go to the airport and it's the terminal. But still, that's language for you. As you can see, there's still plenty of mills around. Most of them have been repurposed for other things. And I do see there in the distance the Academy of Live and Recorded Arts. Wigan seems to be like many towns, one with wonderful cycle lanes that, as you can see, are always very, very busy. Looking in the window of the local cash converters, it looks to me like the locals aren't especially hot on DIY somehow. I have to be honest, I did wonder where one of my friend's exes got to. Now, wedged in between vape and shake, which I presume is some sort of cleaning operation for your carpet where you vape and then shake stuff all over it, and the dog and partridge, is a little oasis of parish churchness, which is delightful. It's just a shame it's the wrong time of year because the cherry trees won't be in bloom, but there's the parish church with a little memoriam in front of it. Let's have a look round the side. It's also nice to see that spring has almost sprung, with all the crocuses or croci or whatever you might call them poking their heads above, and these strange red flowers poking themselves above the gateway. Let's continue around the church like I promised. Let's stop dilly-dallying. Oh, the gardening people are just heading off. Must be something I said. Quite a fine edifice, as most houses of prayer tend to be. I have to be honest and say that the architecture behind me over there reminds me somewhat of Port Sunlight in the Wirral, and also Saltaire over in Yorkshire near Bradford. The back of the parish church and its proximity to this particular establishment does make the sarcastic me come out a little bit, but I promise I'm not going to say anything like this is verging on the ridiculous. Verging, do you get? Oh, never mind. Let's go into the town centre. As we walk up from the church and through this little alleyway, you always get alleyways like this by churches, don't you? Well, if you're ready, we're about to explode onto the town centre. If we can get past Mr. Just Eat here, who's just coming down. And lovely sunny day today, needless to say. Beautiful. Spring is definitely here. And here we are, the town centre. Sorry for the bumpy ride then, I was stepping on more uneven pathways. I wonder how this fares during elections. Like most northern towns, it would prove that Mr. Gove had some sort of use, because the levelling up money seems to be used to start improving town centres. There's a couple of lovely arcades here. One is very traditional, and we'll have a wander around that in a minute. And then there's the more modern one, as you can see on the right. And there's also a little bit of Tudory stuff going on here, or Tudory stuff. If your phone needs to get high, you can get a cell fix here, I believe. This is a typical traditional arcade, and what's lovely to see down here is that it's all full of non-national brands, all little independent retailers, all doing their thing, which is lovely to see. I hope poor Toffee Ron's doesn't melt in the hot weather that's supposedly coming this year. Personally, I wouldn't mind them clearing some of the designer stuff, clearing them into the bins. And a quick view down the main high street. This is actually lovely around the holidays, Easter and Christmas, when they put fairs on in the middle of the street and you can buy a whole load of everything, plenty of stuff you don't want. Let's see if we can get away with having a quick film inside the grand arcade. Yes, no normal arcades for people in Wigan, they are grand. Just a quick peek at the inside of the Grand Arcade. They're not too keen on people filming, but I did ask for permission. And I've just spied somebody famous here. Just saying to my neighbours, our window cleaner has not been since the end of last year. Maybe get George Formby around to do a bit of cleaning windows. Sorry, that's an awful joke. By the way, did you know that escalators never break? They just turn into stairs. You see, I told you, there's a broken escalator. It's called a stairs. And of course, like any arcade or shopping centre area, they've got what they call eateries. Someone pointed me towards the eateries. I prefer to call them little cafes or restaurants, but then I'm disgustingly old-fashioned in my ways at times. Right, we'll take a wander up Millgate, which for some reason doesn't seem to have a mill. I can't see any gates, but we'll go and have a look because I do know, having worked here on a contract for a few weeks, we've got the council offices. Yes, I know, boring council offices, but let's take a look. As we come up the hill to the council offices, we can see WIGAN's head honcho. I have to be honest, I'm not too sure who he is, but I'm sure I've seen him in some George Lucas production. And it's a nice little space to have a relax and, well, that is if you don't mind the noise of the works on in the background. All is revealed. The back of the face is Rick Kirby, who's the face of Wigan. This, it seems from the signage, is called Believe Square. And we'll have a look at the famous, incomparable no less, Billy Boston. It seems he had 571 tries, and on the 572nd occasion, he must have succeeded. We're behind the main council offices, and my fascination for architecture never lets me down. An unusual name there, Baby Scan and Beyond. I would have thought Beyond is just called Life. The moon over the water public house, and that's some road, and yet the moon that is over the water seems to have been trapped in some sort of cage thing. The Clarence Hotel seems to be a little bit of very old architecture stuck in the middle of some, as His Majesty King Charles would say, hideous carbuncles. Some further examples of my fascination with architecture, and I wonder who'd want to go and position themselves up there. Oh, go on. When you're in Wigan, you have to visit the Emporium, even if George himself wasn't in there. By the way, George is not connected with this food emporium. And that was my little trip round Wigan. I'm not going to linger or malinger any further. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't want to just drag it all out for no reason, so take care until the next video, and thank you for watching.